Hello, YouTube. Welcome back to another Thought and Theory episode. So today's topic is about the gaming industry. The honestly, God, I personally like the gaming industry. I do. I love it. It's a lot of fun, but it's an expensive hobby. Very expensive hobby. There's so many things about the gaming industry. There's too many things to mention. But for today, I'm going to talk about the games themselves. Specifically, multiplayer and single player. Now, a problem with multiplayer is that there's a lot of people playing multiplayer now these days that'll like master the game and all of that. You know, they pretty much know life. They know life, the game. They know everything about it. They know everything about the maps and everything. And then when they go to multiplayer and do that sort of thing, and when a new person comes in, those ultimate people bully the new people. So it's like, why? It's like, why? What's the point in playing them if that's the case? Personally, what I think game industries should actually more focus on single player games. Single player game co-op. I think they should be focusing on, because some great single players in its time were Halo games, or what was that other one? Mega Assault, Bloodwake. Those were great single player games. Mega Assault and Bloodwake were for the original Xbox. Star Wars Battlefront 2, for the original Xbox. That was a good single player game. The online was pretty good too, but they didn't heavily focus on the online like everyone does today. Games, honestly, my opinion, I think games deserve more online co-op. And the multiplayer shouldn't be focused on as much. My friend and I were actually just talking about this. We were talking about games deserving a online multiplayer open world. I think more games should be like that. An open world an open world co-op. Like this new game that's coming out. What is it? Shadows of War. Like I was telling him earlier, I think it would be cool if they added in Shadows of War a co-op mode where, like, if you're the main host of the lobby, any friend that joins into your world joins as an Uruk. And since Shadows of Mordor was an open world, I assume Shadows of War is going to be the same thing. So I hope to see, even though I'm pretty sure they're not going to add a co-op into Shadows of War, but that would be cool. That would be cool if they did. Think about that real quick. If they added a co-op to Shadows of War, where you can join your friends as an Uruk, you know, like say your friend that's Talion goes off to this city over here, you know, to fight off and whatever, and then your friend joins and you say, hey, great, while I'm over here doing this, can you go to this city and tell me what kind of defenses they have? Because that's the city I plan on attacking next. You know, and then your Uruk friend, you go, yeah, sure. You know, he runs over there, he checks it out, and he tells you, hey, you know, this is what we got going on, and, you know, and maybe, you know, you can tell your friend, hey, can you place some explosives somewhere? You know, since you would be an Uruk, you would be able to infiltrate the actual city as long as you don't get caught doing any suspicious behavior. That's how I would think they would do that. I think that would be fun. It would be great. I personally think it would be awesome if they did that. It'd be funny, too. Because then you can command your friends and go like, do this, do that. You an Uruk, me human. You know, something weird like that. I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be funny and fun. You know, you and your friends could definitely have a good time doing that. So I personally think games deserve more co-op single player open worlds. Definitely. A lot of these multiplayer games they're just not good. I guess I can't say they're not good because some of them are actually pretty decent. But the problem with them is that it's so hard to play them because when someone becomes some pro, they just suddenly want to pick on everybody. Titanfall is actually a good example. There's a lot of people that become pro on Titanfall, and when people new come to play, they get screwed because these old people who've been there longer, I understand, people want to play the game they want to and everything, but it's these people who've been playing it longer are crushing these new people. And it's either that multiplayer games need to be more friendly to be played, make it more of an even playing field regardless of what's going to happen. Or I don't know how to explain how to make multiplayers better. They're just right now they're really bad. Let me think here. What else? Multiplayers. Now, have they made an actual multiplayer open world? Because I had a game idea a while back ago. It was a multiplayer open world. It was an open world multiplayer. It had to be a big world. It would be definitely a PC game. It would be able to be played on Xbox. Not at all. Anyways, so I don't know. I don't know. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there's not enough. There's not enough single players. And the gaming industry used to be great. Can you imagine how much money the gaming industry they would make if they focused on more single players but made them like an open world co-op games? Can you imagine how much money they would make? And then they just add stuff to the single player open worlds? And then you could just bring your friends in, say like have 4 or 5 friends in a single lobby, and that's all one big open world. Shadows of War would be a great example for that. Hey, you go over here and do this. Hey, you go over here and do this. I'm going to go over here and do this. And you go over there and do that. That would be a great example. Or even Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto doesn't have an official co-op. They do have an online mode, but it's not like co-op. It's not. Now, if Grand Theft Auto had more of a co-op system, where you can actually do the actual main missions with your friends and still do progress in the story and everything without all the other people coming in to ruin your fun, and you can do more than one mission at a time because you and your friend can separate and do stuff. I think that would be great. I think that would be fun. Because it would be an open world. Right? So I don't know. I guess there's just not enough open world single players. Or honestly, and the thing about the gaming industry, it's sad, really. They need to slow down. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. They need to slow down. The gaming industry really needs to slow down. Like, Project Scorpio, the Oculus Rift. My friend and I personally think, all that's cool and everything, but it's ahead of its time. Honestly. We personally think it's a little ahead of its time. It's gonna be, we personally think it's gonna be one of those that's gonna be ahead of its time. Before it's, big or anything like that. So, because there's not a lot of games for them. And Project Scorpio that's coming out for Xbox Scorpio or whatever, um, that's coming out. They're freaking. They want to make it a headset usable, which is, that's fine and everything. But I understand that. But there's a lot of people that don't even have the Xbox One yet. So it's like, why are you guys coming out with so many consoles back to back to back every other year or something like that? So it's like, why? I personally think it's too soon. Too soon for another console. That's what I personally think. I could be wrong. Now, what I've heard about the gaming industry is that they plan on, making they plan on no longer making new consoles, but turning consoles into more PCs in a probably console box, just like how the Alienware was. And the Alienware is kind of cool. I have one. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, that's what I thought about. That's what I think. I think the gaming industry really needs to slow down and make more single player co-op open world games. Because can you imagine if a Halo game was an open world co-op game rather than them focusing on heavy multiplayer like they did with Fallout 5. Or not Fallout 5, sorry. I'm going to get shot for that one.